I grit my teeth. Marcus. I should have hit him with the rock when I had the chance.
Marcus, as you know, is one of the biggest goof-offs at school. Not a slacker goof-off, but a good goof-off.
Guess again.
He's actually funny. An endless number of painfully dull classes have been rescued by perfectly timed coolie puns. So naturally, I didn't take his words at face value. Even though he only stood a few feet away, separated by a window, I kept talking to him through the phone. "You're lying," I said. "I'm not on your list." His normally goofy smirk at that moment looked kind of sexy. "What, you don't think I'm ever serious?" he asked. Then he pressed his list against the window. Even though I stood too far away to actually read it, I assumed he didn't only hold it up to prove that my name did in fact hold his top spot. Still, I thought he must have been kidding about getting together for Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd make him squirm a bit. "Fine," I said. "When?" The cheerleader covered her face with both hands, but through her fingers I watched her skin blush. "I don't know." Without her as an audience egging me on, I doubt I would have agreed to go out with him that fast. But I was playing it up, giving her something to brag about at cheer practice. Now it was Marcus's turn to blush. "Oh, okay, well, how about Rosie's? You know, for ice cream."
E5. I saw that star on the map while I was riding the bus. I knew roughly where it was, just not which store specifically, but I should have guessed. The best ice cream and the greatest burgers and fries around. Rosie's Diner.
My words came out sarcastic. Ice cream? But I didn't mean them that way. An ice cream date just sounded so cute. So I agreed to meet him there after school. And with that, we hung up. The cheerleader slapped her hands on the counter. "You have absolutely got to let me brag about this." I made her promise not to tell anyone until the next day, just in case. "Fine," she said. But she made me promise to spill every last detail afterward. Some of you may know the cheerleader I've been talking about, but I'm not saying her name. She was very sweet and excited for me. She did nothing wrong. Honestly. No sarcasm there. Don't strain yourselves reading into my words.
Before, I thought I knew who the cheerleader was, but now, remembering the day we all found out about Hannah, I'm sure of it. Jenny Kurtz. We had biology together. By then, I'd already heard, but that's when she found out. Scalpel in hand, an earthworm sliced down the middle and pinned out before her. She put down the scalpel and fell into a long, stunned silence. Then she got up, and without stopping by the teacher's desk for a pass, walked out of the room. I kept looking for her the rest of that day, puzzled by her reaction. Like most people, I had no clue of her random connection to Hannah Baker.
Did I tell the cheerleader about what happened at Rosie's? No. Instead, I avoided her for as long as I could. And you're about to find out why. Of course, I couldn't avoid her forever, which is why, a little while, she'll make another appearance on these tapes. But with a name.
The cold air isn't the only reason I'm shivering anymore. With every side of every tape, an old memory gets turned upside down. A reputation twists into someone I don't recognize. I felt like crying when I watched Jenny walk out of biology. Every time I saw a reaction like that, with her, with Mr. Porter, it threw me back to the moment I found out about Hannah myself, when I did cry, when instead I should have been angry at them.
So if you want the full Hannah experience, go to Rosie's for yourself.
God, I hate not knowing what to believe anymore. I hate not knowing what's real.
E5 on your map. Sit down on one of the stools at the counter. In a minute, I'll tell you what to do after seating yourself. But first, a little background on me and Rosie. I had never gone there before that day. I know it seems crazy. Everyone's been to Rosie's. It's the cool, quirky place to hang out. But as far as I knew, no one ever went there alone. And every time someone invited me for some reason or another, I was busy. Family visiting from out of town. Too much homework. Always something. To me, Rosie's had an aura about it. A mystery. In the stories I heard, it seemed like things were always happening there. Alex Standall, his first week in town, had his first fight outside Rosie's front door. He told me and Jessica about it during our Monet's Garden Cafe period.
When I heard about that fight, it came as advice not to mess with the new kid. Alex knew how to throw a punch, as well as take a punch.
A girl, whose name I will not repeat, had her first under-the-bra experience at Rosie's while making out between the pinball machines.
Courtney Crimson. Everyone knew about that. And it's not like Courtney tried to hide it.
With all the stories, it seemed that Rosie turned a blind eye to anything going on as long as cones were being filled and burgers were being flipped. So I wanted to go. But I was not about to go alone and look like a dork. Marcus Cooley gave me the excuse I needed. And it just so happened that I was free. Free, but not stupid. I was a little weary of Marcus, a little suspicious. But not of him so much as the people he hung out with.
People like Alex Standall.
After peeling away from our Ali Ali Oxenfree group at Monet's, Alex started hanging out with Marcus. And after the little stunt Alex pulled with the who's hot, who's not list, I didn't trust him. So why would I trust someone he hangs out with?
You shouldn't.
Why? Because that's exactly what I wanted for me. I wanted people to trust me, despite anything they'd heard. And more than that, I wanted them to know me. Not the stuff they thought they knew about me. No, the real me. I wanted them to get past the rumors, to see beyond the relationships I once had. Or maybe still had, but that they didn't agree with. And if I wanted people to treat me that way, then I had to do the same for them, right? So I walked into Rosie's and sat at the counter. And when you go there, if you go there, don't order right away.
The phone in my pocket starts vibrating.
Just sit and wait. And wait a little more.
It's Mom.